Open the meeting in a moment of silence, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council was called pursuant to the provisions of the open meeting law. Notice of this meeting was sent as a clerk press and published on December 20, 2020, instead of republication for virtual meetings on January 21st, 2021, with the following Zoom meeting ID 998-3326-1382. Roll call. Councilman Janelle?
Here.
Councilman Mosley? Here. Councilman Mosley? Councilman Murray?
Here.
Councilman Rosshausen?
Here.
Councilman Gallagher? Mayor Hanchak?
Here.
We have a quorum. We're going to open up for public comment. If there are any questions or comments, please step forward with your name and address. Reports.
Public comment?
Public comment?
Yeah.
Name and address, please.
Stuart Alterman, 8 South Maple Avenue, Marlton, New Jersey. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Stuart Alterman. I'm an attorney and I have the privilege of representing the South Tome River PBA. I've been a PBA attorney since 1989 and I've been involved in contract negotiations since 1989. Prior to that, when I was a police officer, I was involved in contract negotiations as well. But when I was a police officer, salaries were much different than they are today, and the needs of police officers everywhere are much different. And in South Toms River, your police department is bleeding. Why do I say that your police department is bleeding? Because you're losing qualified officers, talented officers who are trained and that have come to this town and want to remain in this town, but they can no longer afford to remain police officers in this town. You want to know why? Because you don't pay them enough. And the last successive contracts have been subpar. And I'm not standing here trying to just berate you and trying to insult you, trying to enlighten you, to explain to you really what's happening here in South Toms River. I know that your town is growing. I know that the revenues that you are receiving are increasing. And the reason why I know it is because we've done a forensic audit. We know what's happening. We know what's coming into this town. We know your permitting schedule. We know the building. But in order to facilitate public safety, you have to have a police department, a qualified police department. You have to have a continuity in staffing. That continuity of staffing results when you actually take care of your police officers. In an early Supreme Court case, the Supreme Court of the United States stated specifically, the highest and most prioritized-wise duty of government is what? It's public safety. 1. 2 is education. I didn't say that. It was stated in Marbury versus Madison, the first reported major Supreme Court case out of the United States Supreme Court. So here we have a situation in this town where we have attempted to sit down with your negotiators, Mr. Cassetti. The first time that I came, nobody showed up. All right. Maybe it was a scheduling problem. Maybe somebody had something else to do. Then we had basically an unscheduled Zoom meeting. All right, I get it. It's COVID. Nobody wants to get together in the same room. I understand that. So that was after we had scheduled an in-person meeting. And the proposals that we received,
Sorry, 3 minutes. This is after the extended time allowed for public comment is 3 minutes. Thank you.
You can have my 3 minutes.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Mr. Kostecki, are you attempting to shut me down?
What I would ask is the council to decide collectively, because this is the allocated amount for one person. And I would say that considering that the borough has already responded on multiple occasions through our attorney, with this attorney as well, the fact that we have negotiated dates to sit down and speak with you for negotiating, and considering that negotiations aren't done in the public, and even though you would like to make your comments in public, while it's valid, this isn't the spot for negotiation. So
You're a liar.
So I would ask that the time be allowed for the 3 minutes, as everybody is allowed to do, and also to continue the negotiations during normal negotiating meetings, which we have already scheduled and you have agreed to. So I'm considering.
Yeah, we agreed to
I would ask
12:29.
To the council, I would ask that the respectful negotiations continue in a respectful venue, in a respectful manner, in respectful settings, in the agreed upon time and date, which makes his presence here
I'm
relevant.
What are you scared of?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to be able to speak.
What are you
Stop
scared
playing
of?
games and let the residents hear what's
Excuse
going
me.
on.
He has the floor right this second. I don't want to hear anything else from the back, all right? It's not going to get to a pissing contest. I'm going to tell you right now, all right? Because I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I've been listening to this stuff. I've been involved in it since the get-go. I promised him I'd keep what I was going to say. But we sat down with them in the beginning, and we gave them things. We didn't hear back from them for 5 months, okay? And then all of a sudden, you walk back through the door with a whole new thing. And that's as far as I'm
You're
going.
right,
We
the
can
whole new thing,
negotiate
because
this
your contract
at the
is
table.
Your
Negotiate
contract
this
is
at the table,
Thank you.
not in public, not on
No,
Facebook.
we're gonna talk in public, and I'll be back here
Period.
at every
Period.
sequential council meeting, sir.
You do that.
Because this
You
is
do that.
America.
You're not gonna step
You
up?
do that, sir.
I'm
And
gonna
I will stand up here, and I will continue to
So I'm
speak.
gonna ask, so
Joe,
this is
Joe,
what we have to do.
it's up to the mayor to remove him. It's up to the mayor to remove him, and not you.
I-
Not you. Mayor,
We need to
Mayor, is he
make
staying,
sure-
is he staying, or is he
Can
going?
you continue to
He's-
conduct
he's-
yourself in a
Ma-
civil
Mayor,
manner?
he's
He's already-
advised, and we will remove him
he's already
if
been
you
able to-
advise, Mayor.
I'm going to ask him personally, are you going to conduct yourself in a civil
In
manner?
a civil manner.
I have been.
Sir,
Until I was interrupted by your, what's your title?
So we have 3 minutes. It's been
Is
exhausted.
it clerk?
It's been exhausted, so.
All by his title, that's all.
Mayor, this is to change.
Mr. Mayor.
No. Excuse me, sir. This is not your time. Sit back down until you have the rightful time to be assigned. Settle yourself down.
What a joke, what a fucking Napoleon.
Nobody was actually.
So this is the charade we're put on now tonight?
If somebody,
This is the charade? So somebody.
Mayor,
Motion to adjourn.
stop.
Motion to
Mayor,
adjourn. You can't
Make a
make this.
decision.
Motion to
Who's
adjourn.
speaking?
Second.
Mayor, you make a
Mr. Stacky,
decision.
what are you afraid of?
Speaking here.
Well, I'm not afraid of anything. I would like to discuss
Okay, all right,
the-
and he
But you don't have the ability to do it.
He said you can continue, go ahead.
Oh, thank you very
Excuse me,
much.
can I go through it? Excuse me.
Get your hands
Oh
off.
my God!
It's not insulting. It's the truth.
You're an idiot!
Excuse me.
You! He is
Muffle,
the
Joe.
biggest, he needs to be removed!
This guy's a jerk.
Grab him!
Enough.
You need to remove
Enough,
yourself right now.
enough, Joe.
You need to remove your
Yes or no, is he speaking or not?
Right now, if you want to-
Stop, everyone stop.
Why is everybody here doing this when they're
Yes
doing
or
it now?
no?
Am I a who?
Next,
Hell, they're like animals.
Your 3 minutes are up.
next.
Just 3
You're
minutes.
like
are up.
animals, man, Jesus Christ.
My 3 minutes are up.
3 minutes. are up. Next person, thank you very
I got
much.
somebody else step at the
Motion
podium,
to
that
adjourn.
guy.
Somebody else step at the podium and I'll step back up.
for you.
Andy Kosh, West Sudbury Road. I'm a union worker, and I know some of you guys are union workers. You know what it's like to work for a fair contract. If you don't get one, you get pissed off. Every one of us think we're worth what we get paid. I'm a union worker. Do you think they're worth what they get paid, or more? You can't live on their salaries. None of you guys can live on their salaries. Fuck you laughing at?
Enough, enough. Now, so we try to keep the profanity out of the room.
Just name it now.
It's Roger Hall, 325 Clubhouse Road, Beechwood, New Jersey. I also have a house here on Addison Avenue. Grew up in South Tome River, I know a lot of you, and I'm not here to be confrontational. I was asked to come because the officers wanted to discuss the high turnover rate of South Tome police officers. As you know, I worked here from 1993 to 2000. I was a detective when I left and over to Tom's River. And the main reason, or there's two reasons, lack of leadership. We were former chief, and I'm glad we rectified that with Chief Kosh. The second was purely financial. Like I said, I grew up in this town, I bought my first home in this town, and it was pretty sad that working here for 7 years and promoted to be your detective, I couldn't afford to live in this town. A lot of things have changed. These guys bust their hump day and night. I know because I worked right over the bridge side by side with them. And it's just pretty sad to learn that the salaries are what they are. I was surprised when I saw it. I'm not a social media person. I learned of it. I couldn't believe that these guys were out to making. So I have a vested interest. I still have a home here. I pay taxes here. And they deserve a fair wage. And I hope you take that into consideration. I'm not here to shout at anybody or anything like that. I know how negotiations were. I formed this PBA, breaking away from another PBA to form just one for South Tome River. I was PBA president. I sat across, I don't think, from any of you doing negotiations. I know how hard it is. I know you look at the taxpayers, but like I said, when you can't afford to live in this town, when you're working here, that's not fair. And back then, you know, you see losing officers highly trained, we didn't get paid to go training. I put myself through the academy. If I wanted to go to a specialized course, I was working midnight shift. Chief Isaac didn't pay for us to go. I went on my own time. So I invested a lot into this community. 7 years I was here volunteering in this town. And it was kind of insulting back then when we started out at $19,000. I left after 7 years at $34,000 and got an $8,000 raise to go to the next town over. And I know Tom's River is like a city, but come on, this isn't fair. And I don't know this gentleman, this is outrageous, this behavior. And it's embarrassing. So I just hope you take that into consideration when you sit down with them again, and you know, fair wage. Like I said, I have a vested interest. I own a home here. So. Thanks.
The podium is free. Thank you. Let him go. Let him go. Thank you. Thank you very much. So what I was saying was that subpar wages in 2021 are unacceptable. That it costs anywhere between $15,000 and $30,000 to continue with a concept or a practice of attrition with individuals leaving and continuing with a revolving door. That in order to keep qualified, experienced police officers, it does cost some money. But the value that you receive in return is inconsequential. It's very valuable. It's much more valuable than allowing the continuation of a revolving door. Just by the very fact that you have police officers that remain here for a career, that know the residents, know the streets, know who comes into this town during the day, who comes into this town at night, who belongs here, who doesn't belong here. The house looks right, the house looks wrong, if something's out of place. And experienced long-term police officers know these types of things. That's the value that you keep when you keep qualified and experienced police officers. You have a police department with significantly great police officers. but they're all leaving. And they're going to much higher paying jobs. They don't want to leave, they want to be here. Some of them were born and raised here. And they like this police department. You have a great chief that wants to move this police department along and make sure that it exists, not only just in 2021, but continues throughout the rest of the decade. So, I understand that I'm coming up on 3 minutes. So, but the bottom line is that there has to be some political will coming back to the police officers to serve this town, to serve you, each and every one of you, that serve the taxpayers of this town, and that serve the individuals that come into this town and work and go home at the end of the day, or those individuals that come in at night for whatever reason. But the experience level here has to be raised. You're bringing in building, you're bringing in new property, you're bringing in new businesses. They have to be protected. The property value has to be protected. And does it cost some money? Of course it costs money. But the return on your investment can't hardly be enumerated. The return will come back to you 1,000, 100,000 times fold. But you have to have the political will to do it. And you have to have the political will to sit down and discuss realistic salaries in 2021.
Thank you.
The salaries that you have won't last.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones?
Oh, somebody else up there want to come up. Everybody came. I get out.
I went over to Sam. These people took care of me in this town. They sent me letters, everything. I'm a union worker, 40 years. I wasn't worth $135 and stand by the back door, hey guys, look at the bird going over, all right? But to wind up after 40 years, I got a good pension. These people here, guarding us every night of the week, are getting garbage. You know what garbage is? Because you people are getting, and you, Mayor, have got a pension. Yeah,
I'm not a mayor, we get promoted?
every one of you people sitting up there have got a pension.
I got a pension because I'm a union worker.
I got a pension, gotta work.
You don't get a pension for
I didn't get mine
this.
free.
This is voluntary.
I served my country.
When I went over to the SAM for 2 years and 18 months, the union, the UAW, took care of me. And they took care of my family. And these officers here supported my family. You people don't even have the audacity, but there's a chief right there standing before us. Why ain't his picture up on out in the office so they know? Why are all these lieutenants not recognized? Because why? You don't want to spend the money. I'll take the money out of my pension and I'll put his picture up there and be proud of saluting him or whatever. It's an insult. You put the president up there, oh yeah, he scores. I went to Yale University for law. I went to University of Maryland. So you can throw darts at it now. But I'm not going to sit back here in this seat and see the chief, all you people in uniform and out of uniform get beat up. I'm willing to pay to have that officer's picture in there so everybody knows. And every lieutenant that's standing here like this proud to wear the uniform. I want to know who he is. I don't know your name. I know the chief. Just like I told you, Mayor. Oh, no, but that's right, Pat. Now, that's all I got to say. When you go to the table and negotiate, your union, figure what these people are gonna get when they retire. 40, I get $9,000 a month through retirement, through the unions. These people, when they retire, they're gonna get garbage. Thank you. I got one more thing I heard, a rumor, it's a rumor. I don't want to take up all your time, but there's a rumor going around that you want to do away with all these people, every one of you. And
And sir, it's just.
then you outsource.
That's a rumor.
That's
Nobody
a
wants to
rumor.
buy the police department. Nobody wants to.
Rumors turned out to be real too.
You're gonna get rid of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we're not gonna live on farmland.
Rumors, Facebook, I'm not doing
Any other public comment?
No, it's just like. Tonight, I live on 38 Adelphi Road, I've been here about almost 38 years. 38 Adelphi. I mean, I don't think it's any secret to anybody in here that, you know, the police department was run by, let's just call it, used to be a clown show for quite a few years. And people put up with it, you know, probably because he was a union guy or whatever it was. But you have professionals here now that are trying to bring this department into the modern age. I mean, you got good men here. And, you know, nothing's fair in this world. Nobody's asking for a fair wage. You have to do what's right for these guys. I wouldn't get out of my car and check somebody out for what you start these people at. It's unbelievable. You know, Minneapolis, oh, let's defund the police. No, we're underfunding the police here. And you're gonna lose good people that wanna work, and they wanna be in this town and spend a career here. And, you know, somebody else from the next town comes knocking, I'm gonna leave for 20 grand a year more, you better believe I'm gonna. But you just have to do what's right by them. And I'm pretty sure we can find the money to do that in this town. Especially with all this building we see gonna be happening, but right now they need to be taken care of. It's just my opinion. You know, you wanna sleep good at night knowing you have good people out here, that's what you have to do. And that's what we have here, is good people in this department right now. And that's really all I have to say, just not what's fair, what's right.
It's open, yes. Motion to close public comment?
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Same, public comment closed. We have ordinance 2110, ordinance of the Borough of South Missouri County of Ocean, supplementing Borough Code 3-25.14, entitled rate changes, second reading. This is a public hearing, or a public hearing. Public hearing is now open. If any other questions or comments, please step forward pertaining to this public hearing. Seeing no questions or comments, I have a motion to close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, closed. I have a motion to approve roll call as presented.
Mosley.
Murray. Council Pennell?
Yes.
Council Mosley?
Yes.
Council Murray?
Yes.
Council Rosas?
Yes.
Ordinance approved. We have consent agenda. The following is considered routine by the Borough of South Missouri. We do no formal discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We have resolution 208, 209, or 208 is the minutes, 209 is... It's been recorded the whole time. Compliance for Civil Rights Act of 64, 210 is the council meeting dates of 2020, setting them. 211 is 2001, 2002 DRE program with Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. 213 is authorizing hiring of Muhammad Ali as full-time police officer. 215 is authorizing 2122 DWI grant with Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. 216 is authorizing transfer of funds with current year 21 budget appropriations. And 216 is authorizing 21 American Rescue Plan mental health services. As presented, do I have a motion for separating?
Murray.
Do you want to separate the 213,
That is at your request, at your desire.
and then you do that separate?
So the request is to separate 213 or approve as separate?
Approve as separate. Yeah, just pull that out.
Okay, so 213 is presented, or the motion to approve as presented? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. And all except for 213? The motion? All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion approved. We have new business.
Do you want to read that one?
Resolution 213.
213, I did separately. 213 is the celebration of hiring Muhammad Ali as a full-time police officer. We had a full first and second.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I just want to make sure that that was done separately.
Each of them do a curveball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just didn't let it go.
Completely separate, no worries. Now we're on to new business.
Are we swearing
Want to
in?
swear him in?
Yes, so true.
I have no fucking.
How you doing, big guy? Again. I, Muhammad Ali,
I, Muhammad Ali,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey.
and the state of New Jersey,
I will bear true faith
will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of South Palm River Police Officer
the duties of a South Palm River police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
And I will not use my office
and I will not use my
to
office
grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
Tell me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I don't think the camera has what we're
Everyone, for those that don't know me, I'm Chief College, South Palm River Police Department. First, I want to thank the Mayor and Council, of course, for creating this, or implementing this alternate hiring process that we've been working on since February. Much needed. You know, we did a lot of work to get this thing off the ground and basically circumvent the civil service list, which allowed us to, you know, hire Officer Ali tonight. You know, without that process, we wouldn't be here. Ali needs no introduction. We've done this probably 4 times over the last 3 months. I'm sorry, 3 times over the last 4 months. He came to us as a special 6 months ago. Then we took him as a part-time regular. He got his full cert. Now he completes his journey tonight. So congratulations to you. You know, you've been great for us. We're very happy to have you. As a matter of fact, about this man, I'll say that he had an opportunity while going through this process to take a full-time job with the Long Branch Police Department. It says a lot about your character. You believed in us. We believe in you. We know we have the right guy. Okay? So congratulations to you. Just real quick, I'm only going to take a minute. I won't be as exciting as the last group, I promise you. But it's been nearly 2 years since we've been able to get this spot filled. Okay? You know, we're fully staffed now, at least for the time being, and I want to recognize the hard work that the rest of these officers put in here. Over that time, it's been a very, very long road. It's been very, very taxing on them, on their families, on their personal lives. These guys constantly, you know, they have to come into work, they're getting recalled all the time because we're so short-handed. They're sitting by the phone when they're not getting recalled, wondering if they are going to get recalled. You know, they have 3-4 days off a week because we're working that 12-hour schedule. And literally half of those days off, they had to sit at the phone and wait for a phone call. And then every time we called them, they were here 100% of the time. They always answered the phone. They were always here. These are the most dedicated people that you're going to find, I promise you. All right? The burden was heavy. I'm sorry that I couldn't do more for you, but I will tell you that I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you did
And more importantly, obviously, the community appreciates you, so it's a good night.
New business?
I have questions on this.
Motion approved.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, bills are paid. New business? Few items from mayor and council for contracts and events for your consideration.
I'm assuming Halloween for next year,
Yeah. We can start with Christmas and warm it up.
yeah, we can.
I was speaking with the administrator today, about the tree lighting. Our regular office meeting is until the 13th, which is a little bit late. Second week of December, to have the tree lighting, so I'm going to try to have it during the first week of December. We're trying to coordinate it with Santa Claus coming here that week.
No response yet.
No
From under a poll.
So hopefully, I'm looking to get the tree lighting ceremony the first week of December, rather than waiting until the 12th, which is the 13th. Or any time during the,
You like this here?
yeah, I'm looking for a date. You know, I'd like to have it sometime the first week of December, what day it is. What's ever available to everybody.
My schedule is probably harder than everybody else's schedule.
Joe, we can't get Santa.
We want the real one.
Yeah, the real ones. Tough to do, but we're gonna do it.
I'm waiting for a
Eighth
I'm
and
waiting on
ninth,
confirmation,
I
so.
think the eighth and ninth come home. That's my, yeah, 'cause the other days are my night shift.
We have no confirmation yet, so, on that week.
Now we could do verbal, right? Like, we want to have it before the first meeting, so this is our last meeting, because the next one, we could discuss that after we get confirmation.
And we are gonna have the decoration contest this year, again.
I think so.
You're gonna head down up?
Yeah, we'll have the, we want to have 3 prizes this year, first, second, and third, or one for each district. Probably first, second, and third is better.
We had that last few years, first, second, third district.
I was thinking also,
First, second, and third prize.
for the awards, we should have it like after, on a regular, council meeting. So I think we've been having it too early. Some people are a little bit lazy and put their lights up a little later, so that they don't get a chance to get judged. So I'm thinking like our council meeting, I think is the 27th. So we have the 27th, we come up with the winners.
So no specific date, though.
Excuse me?
No date though, for both, right? We're gonna wait for their availability, we're looking at?
What you said here,
Eighth and ninth.
Like run the week before that. Joe, 7 p.m. though.
Yeah, standard council time.
we need to discuss the calendar or is that?
I put it on there, your request, so you don't have to, this is your area on this one. We'll move on. All right, so we were awarded 2022 municipal aid grant of $260,000 for Addison, Hummel, and Parkway Boulevard road improvements. 22 will start realistically in early 24 as a time frame of municipal improvements. We do have to review our recreation building camera policy that's going to be internal. We have an Edmonds cloud migration which will allow our finance department to move things more expeditiously for purchase orders and whatnot. Vaccination clinic has been set for the spring of 22. That is also listed on the calendar that will be published within the next 2 weeks. There is a resolution in your mailboxes from the Ocean County Board of Commissioners regarding the closure of banks within Ocean County for you to review. That's new business. Old business, we have P-card policies that have been produced. They're being reviewed by myself and the CFO for a little bit more expediency for online purchasing. Old business also, the Greater Tome Chamber of Commerce. They've expressed interest in the borough to join in as part of the chamber, as part of the Greater Tome River Chamber. As previously stated, we are part of the Central Ocean Business Association, which is a business arm that is comparable in nature in some forms, completely different in other aspects. So the Greater Tome River Chamber is asking if our interest in joining along with them as part of a greater chamber. So, it is different in certain, in actually many different aspects. COBA is a business assistance program, more of a networking, I would say, for businesses in the area. There are 5 towns in the area. The smaller area south of River, in South Streetford, Island Heights, Berkeley, and so 5 towns for that. Mostly social networking for businesses. Greater Tome River provides a little bit more resources for the business nature, for the internal operations of businesses. Not just networking and marketing, it's more of taxes, business plans, things like that. The outreach and business grants. If you have questions with regard to your business, you don't know how to operate during COVID, you find the assistance from your Fed, from the county and state. They provide the necessary outreach and resources more in depth than what a COBA normally would. There's a cost associated with each. This is definitely a little bit. I want to say it's about 150 I believe a year. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it in front of me right now. Yeah, for the entity. So there's entity operations, there's business operations, costs, things like that. More resources. So we would be the arm assisting all of our businesses and nonprofits in the area in a business arm. So they would like us to join as part of that. So those are the packets. There's stuff in there with the cost as well as the resources for that. So another business, we have an executive session. 214, authorizing executive session for purposes of attorney-client privilege. Do I have a motion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, we're in executive session. Thank you. We have no other matters of business, so the motion is adjourned. We can do that before we go. Before or after, what do you want to do? Before? Okay. All right, so we'll wait for the adjournment, the Senate adjournment, and we'll move to the committee reports. Want to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Who we wish that?
Councilwoman Mosley? Councilman Mosley?
Correct. Well, we had a police committee meeting last Thursday. Sam, I attended, discussed the complaint that we had with the employee. Also, we with the chief, and I discussed it with Councilman Fennell at the food drive the other day, that some other issues that he wanted to put in. They had 10 cars sold at for the auction. That was already given to Steve. They also assisted with a large bust to the officers. I'm going to say it was Officer Jaden Kosh, and the other one was
Detective Meyer.
Detective Meyer. I'll let you go into more detail with that if you wanted to. They also reported to code enforcement about some graffiti on the Parkway overpass by Magnolia at the Tradewinds Marina on the Lake Road. There's a dirt lot with trailer. There was a lot of graffiti on that. And Lighthouse Point, the fencing. And also the Applegate traffic study was done, but he didn't have the finals on that. You said there was 7 enforceable.
On Applegate Avenue?
Yes. So, but you weren't sure of the details.
Right, I didn't have the time for you.
And went down to the league last week for a couple of classes. It was a good league. It was nice that it was in person this time. I took one actually on the marijuana. No samples. And that's it.
Thank you.
Did you mention food drive?
Well, I did, briefly.
I was at the food drive, I was able to stop in my meal time to give a hand. Was at the groundbreaking for the loft behind the Wallow. And I was at the vets and sub-vets Memorial Day. Thanking our vets for keeping us free.
Very much.
Yeah.
I have no. Thank you. Yeah, I was also at the Veterans Day celebration of our sub-vets down in Metro Plaza. Also attended a couple interview processes before a new CFO will be retiring next year. Was at the food bank, so I helped out a little bit there. We did about 100 turkeys. I'd like to thank Kevin McCormick for our OEM for help coordinate that and seeing to do us. I also went down to League of Municipalities Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I attended some 2 classes. We had 4 different classes. We had a little bit of education. The least time I did meeting with the and professionals. So that concludes my report.
Seeing no other motions, our motion to move to executive session. Oh, I have nothing. This evening, Kevin McCormick, OEM coordinator for Southbound River. Got a few to see. Yeah, nice. It's only 4. See, November 4th, we had our tabletop to discuss our FEMA drill. Thank you, members that could make it. We had the first aid fire. They like to fill in. The PD showed up and decided our police department is going to be the drill next year. Okay, February, mid-year, discuss it with the council, have all the fire department, police, everybody here, so you know what we do. So, yeah, okay. And the actual drill will be May 9th. We're going to blow up Dover. Works for me. Okay, so
Let's hope.
it's only, but we will be utilizing the Nashville Park Fire Captain parking lot. Our parking lot will be full of responder vehicles. So it's all thrown out, most of it's done already. I'll go to the chief, I'm going to break it down more. Instead of here. Well, we'll see what we have to, depending what they are.
They still don't get the okay yet from school.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we get it, that'd be a better place than having it in here. You're not gonna get the rigs in here and out of here. It's gonna be-
Probably put the first day here, and the fire trucks come there. And, looking at 5 fire trucks. We'll go over this in a fact. We have plenty of time to work in there. Vaccine clinic, tomorrow afternoon, from 1:30 to 5, down at the rec. You want the boosters or regular vaccine, please show up.
Is that all three? Just want to make sure it's all looks in that.
Food bank, I'm going to touch on that real quick. I want to thank the police department, some of my certain people. We all went out and delivered 48 families food to help the ones that couldn't come to our place to get it. And then we gave out another 60 to the public. I talked to Phil. They're going to let us run one for Christmas. So far I ordered 210 hams.
You have a date for that?
Yes. It's going to be December 22nd tentative. If Tom's able to do the same date, then we'll do it all together, so we don't have to have a bunch of trucks. So he's going to let me know the definite date. So whatever we don't use, I'll take down to the mill bill, being they don't get what we get, like we've been doing. So I want to thank everyone for helping with it. We've done good, and the community's happy with it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to jump in real quick and just elaborate on what Tom was saying about the joint investigation that we worked on at the prosecutor's office. Jane Kosh, Detective Meyer, we assigned these two guys to the prosecutor's office for about 6 weeks, 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They were part of this joint investigation that was started here in Brick. It spanned all the way up to Manhattan. Was it 2 months, 6 weeks or 2 months? Detective Sergeant Sage assisted also. Multi-jurisdictions, DEA, state police, Ocean Monmouth County agencies, too many to list. They concluded by doing some search warrants last month, beginning of this month. They got 5.5 kilos of cocaine, 14 vehicles. They searched how many residences did you have? Many body warrants. It's a really big operation, huge scale. These guys did a phenomenal job, and I want to congratulate them on that and all their hard work. One other thing that I just want to note, back on the 7th of this month, I did put a Facebook post out. I don't know who follows us on Facebook. Detective Sergeant Sage and Detective Meyer were involved in a missing person report. On the 7th, 84-year-old woman left her house 4:30 the previous afternoon. They called our department somewhere around midnight for the first time, said, hey, our mother's missing. She's out in her pajamas, she's driving around, she possibly has some undiagnosed cognitive disorder or whatever. They were able to make phone contact with her one time. She said she was lost, but she was on, or she got turned around. She was on her way home from Whiting. That was at midnight, 9:30 in the morning. We got another call back. She still hadn't returned home. Detective Sergeant Sage, Officer Kosh, Jane Kosh, started pinging her phone and her location. She's all over state. Detective Sergeant Sage got in his car, started following her all through the state of New Jersey, like literally all the way north, west, south, north, south, back and forth from here to Atlantic City and Washington Township and Berlin and all over the place. 24 hours, this guy chased her around the state. Finally, we were able to get some help out there. Detective Meyer went out there with him. They pinged her location to the Atlantic City area. This whole 24 hours, they're notifying the other agencies of where the pings are, but, the pings come in every 15 minutes, so, if you think you're going in the right direction, guess what, she's going the other way. And that's what happened a lot of times. So, anyway, they were able to ping her location in the Atlantic City area. They notified all the surrounding areas, and finally she was found in Ocean City. She was in poor shape. She'd been driving the entire time. Somehow she didn't stop to get gas, but she was on E at that point. Her phone was at 10% battery. It was under her seat. She had no idea it was there. She had no idea where she was. She thought everything was okay. She said, I talked to my son, and he knows I'm here. So anyway, 10% battery, no gas. God knows where this woman could have ended up if it wasn't for the perseverance of these guys. And again, that's what they bring to your community. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none? Thank you.
You're a fucking coward, bro. Fucking coward. You are
Excuse me,
a coward.
excuse me.
I'm sorry, but you are the
Not a public
biggest
meeting.
fucking cunt I ever-